person everything that is gorgeous, you must first open your mind and expand your thinking to fully understand.
Hello. My name is Thomas. Now, I know in this series we have talked about modern art and what it represents, and what it can make us into. However, today, My friends, we are going to be discussing a topic some would consider vile, putrid, disgusting. We are going to be talking aliens.
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 So let's start from the beginning, shall we? Diggers?
The following is taken as account from a man who claims he used to work for the United States government as an engineer. Everything following this message is based on his word. Any inaccuracies thereby are not the fault of this establishment, only a failure on the behalf of that stupid conspiracy theory believing dipshit motherfucker.
It was early spring of 1949. The world reeling from its latest conflict. Hardly the time for the world to face its first wildly covered encounter with extraterrestrial life. It was on the 1st of May, 1949, that a craft from beyond the stars would crash somewhere in the Nevada desert. From human witnesses and sources we were able to gather, the matching story was of a large, metal cube, roughly 5 meters in height, width, and length.
The United States government attempted to convince the media, as well as actual witnesses to the event, that the cube crashing was hallucination. However, there is one massive fault in this story perpetuated by the U.S. government. How is it possible that so many people can share the same hallucination?
Anyway. Thank you, Bridget. Anyway. The military was called to the scene immediately. Within hours they had retrieved the craft from the crash site. As many as 1,000 geological, astronomical, and scientific experts were called to investigate the actual crash site. The crash site, within hours, had been cordoned off with a 3-mile radius. This was to prevent the public from possible contamination. The craft itself, dubbed Pool 9, I will get to that later, was carried back to the closest military outpost, which happened to be a major experimental aircraft testing facility known as S4. This testing site is where our engineer supposedly worked on opening the cube and reverse engineering into a prototype vehicle known by workers at the site as Hopper.
Hopper, yes, that's what they called it. It was an odd-looking thing. I worked on building it. Basically, while Pool 9 was a cube, this Hopper, it was like an upside-down prism shape. It was not very aerodynamic looking.
Perhaps you could tell us why the name of the original craft was Pool 9?
Well, the pool part, I couldn't tell you what that meant if I am being honest with you, but the 9 was representative of the number of crew members we found aboard the craft.
So there were survivors.
Just 9, feeling good guys. They told us that they had come from far across the stars, but not just through space as we understand it. They said that they were retreating from a battlefield that was located in the seams between realities, a blue space that they called the void.
So, these extraterrestrials, they were capable of communicating.
Yes, but not directly. They were able to use their minds to pick up our language telepathically. They then used polygraphs to communicate with the scientists and engineers. They were all members of a large family, they told us, a family that was well known across the stars, a bloodline which only would mix with the greatest and most powerful. They said that they would do this to advance their own geneticisms. No matter what it took, they said, no matter what it took, they would rule the most powerful family in all of creation. A couple of them had even replaced parts of themselves with mechanical parts.
Did they mention anything about who the battlefield they were fleeing from and who they were fighting against?
One of their own, a rogue, they called him P. They did not refer to him by real name, because they were ashamed.
It is interesting to think that even across the stars and all of these other realms that these beings talked of values like family, feelings like shame. This family. Did they carry a name? A name that they all shared?
Talos. Talos, they called themselves the Talos family. Talos. T-A-L-U-S. I am not sure on the pronunciation because they spoke the polygraphical text, but that was their name.
Together, we, my sons, daughters, fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, and our associates will claim the rightful place taken from us by the universal establishment. My children, Chromus, G, Kingbo, Aquarius, Callis, Targarum, Mogus Grimbus, Targus, Killer's Cargo, Jimpus, Mogus Jimpus, Pergus, Egeus, Lazarus, Perucas Cargo, Mogus Road, Mogus Sunus, Primus, Aeron, Craepus, Dallas Ramus, Chromus Mogus, Targarus Primus, Sipper Cargo. Follow my lead to conquer and victory. This little rock is our next stepping stone. We shall turn these little flesh people into dust and pigeon shit. The Talos family always prevails, always triumphs. These little people think that they know what a war looks like.
We are superior to all forms of life. Accept this and lay down so that we may kill you and harvest your land. Your crops will suffice the family for
We
the
will
next
unleash your rotten accessory to annihilate all that breathes on this world.
In order to believe the wonders of the universe and everything that it engorges, you must first open your mind and expand your thinking to fully understand